Okay, now we are live. We are live. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Uh, hmm, hmm. Well, can everyone hear me now? Trying to get a sound check here. Can anyone hear me? I need to get a sound check. Yeah, can you hear me all right, Jay? I'm trying to get a sound check. See if I can. Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, because my microphone was messing up there for a while. I'm just basically checking in with you guys. This weekend is the weekend I do the Bigfoot hunt. Didn't realize it was gonna be Easter weekend. But hey, I'm single. I got nothing to, no kids to worry about. So I'm gonna be out in the woods. Maybe I run across Bigfoot with rabbit ears on. Man, that would be funny. uh, I've seen some weird stuff in the woods. So how you doing, Jay? Yeah, I'm just gonna. I got some new equipment. I'm gonna test out this weekend. I was on a little while a few minutes ago with my phone. I didn't know I could live stream from my phone. That's what I was testing out. So okay, that's what I was testing on. So uh, but now I got my phone turned off, charging it up, and I got some adapters and stuff for it for my phone, so I can also do a nighttime hunt. Hopefully, I can do a nighttime hunt. I got a big old strobe light for it, so I've got a regular camera I use too, but there's no way to hook a light onto it. I can do that with infrared though. I can do that with infrared. Uh, but yeah, I got no way for anyone to come up on the channel because I'm going straight through YouTube right now. I'm not going through Streamyard. No, I don't work. Okay, my night vision is just night infrared on my camera. I don't have night thermal on it. I wish I did, I wish I did. I haven't worked with thermal. I have worked with thermal when I was in the military, but that was years and years ago. And thermal has come a long way since then. And my camera, which is this here one, it just has it has infrared on it, so it's like if I do a video with this, it'll probably be black and white. You'll be basically it'll be pitch black out there, all except the only way I can see is through my camera, and it'll be you the infrared turns the night into day for me, so I can see. But that's pretty much how I like to hunt Bigfoot anyway. I don't like to really use thermal imaging because imaging on cameras I have found give false reads. So I mean, this way if I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. It's like uh, I have a ton of videos of this. If the weather's starting to get warmer, so it's like I'm gonna be out there doing more videos, uh, all types of videos. I want to do a couple of ghost videos in a graveyard, and there's one graveyard, but there's one graveyard I know is like infrared. Yeah, it's infrared on the camera. Uh, um, I bring a bunch more videos to you because it's getting warmer. I mean, ghost videos are few and far between. I want to do one in this graveyard, but the graveyard, my other friends who have done videos out there, um, won't go back there because of how haunted it is. So yeah, if I go there, I'm gonna try to get someone to go with me. Um, they said that they had their camera on a tripod, and the tripod literally levitated off the ground. These guys ain't one to BS or joke around or talk smack about a place where they've been. They're straight up serious, and they said even with more people, they won't go back there. It just scares the crap out of them. And these guys are the type that they don't scare real easy. So, but that's the graveyard I want to go to. I just got to find people to go with me because I'm definitely not going alone. So, um, uh, that's pretty much as far as the ghost videos. I mean, uh, there's a majority of places here in Rockford that are haunted, but to get into them is the hard part because a lot of people don't like to admit to it, even though the stuff's happening right in front of them. So and getting it documented is much better because a guy like me will go in and document it, and I'll be able to show that video to someone who knows how to get rid of the demon or the spirits or whatever, and they can go in there and get rid of them for them. But that's and people don't realize that's why a lot of YouTubers uh, will shoot a haunted place. Not some of them will do it just for fun, but what they don't realize is there's demonologists out there, and people who know. Um, Thermal works on the same thing IR does. And the thing is they don't see IR. They don't see infrared. Okay. The reason uh, they don't see it is because uh, they see in 2D, which means it gives them the ability to see at night. The IR is the red light. They don't see red light. And by them not seeing red light, they can't tell that they're being, and see a thermal camera. Thermal cameras work on infrared. and but they have a special program inside them to differentiate between heat and non-heat. It's a special setup the camera itself has. They just shine it, but uh, what Sasquatch, the reason Sasquatch moves around even when you have infrared is because he may not be able to see you past that infrared light, but he can smell you and hear you, so he knows when to move. So you know, you gotta remember when you're in the thanks, Lamone Cherry. uh, I've been just kind of busy in my personal life doing a lot of different things. So, but yeah, but the camera itself is what tells you what is hot and what's not. The camera itself is just basically infrared, and then that information that the camera's picking up, the camera will inside the camera, which is a special program, will tell you what's hot and what's cold and everything else. That's on the camera itself. So, infrared. I don't believe they can see infrared. I think what they do is they because there's a lot of times where I've been out at night with my night vision goggles just by myself, no camera, and you know night vision goggles work on infrared, and I've walked damn near almost up to them. I stay downwind of them, and I almost walked up to them. Actually, what they do is the game cameras that are on trees are made of petroleum. And the reason bears and other animals attack the game cameras is because they smell the petroleum in the camera. Then it smells like food to them. So they go and they check it out. That's why they get those game cameras get attacked. It's not that they see the infrared, they smell the petroleum in the game camera. And a lot of people don't realize that. There are game cameras out, real expensive ones, that don't have no scent to them whatsoever, that they cannot be detected. But those are very expensive. I don't have, 2-3 grand to spend on one camera about that big. So it's like, there's so much to learn about Sasquatch, JR. Uh, so much. I mean, basically, I always explain to people they're apes that think like men. So that's pretty much, and they're very, very intelligent. I mean, they do have their own language, they have their own social groups. Uh, Very rarely will they attack humans. They have been known to attack humans, rip them apart, and eat them. Okay, those are in certain situations. Um, so I wouldn't go that far, Lamone, but is the original like cats? Somewhat like cats. But they have like a 2D vision where they can't see infrared. They can't see red light. So, infrared they wouldn't be able to see. Yeah, it's because of petroleum inside it. They are. Yeah. Petroleum, that's why when you hear about a bear breaking into a cabin, the refrigerator gets torn apart because the petroleum in the plastic that makes up the fridge is mixed in with that. That's how they make it. And so they think it's food and they go after the refrigerator and not necessarily the contents of the fridge of the refrigerator. There's a lot, and a lot of people I talk to never realize that's why they go after game cameras is because they smell the petroleum. They smell it. It's a higher scent to smell. We can't smell it, and maybe we can, but we get used to it. So it's like and we know what it is, but animals, Bigfoot, they don't know what it is, so they go up and investigate because of the smell from it, or they smell our human scent and they want to go up and check it out. Yeah. But Sasquatch lately, I've seen have been the ones here in the lower 48 are. Don't get me wrong, they are wild creatures. The best bet is to keep your distance from them. But from what I've been hearing, the stories I've been hearing, they're docile to a point. I've heard. Now I've got a friend that's out investigating a Sasquatch. Sasquatch are attacking this cabin, and they're pounding on the walls. And the reason they pound on the walls is because they're out to eat these humans. That is there are what we call cannibalistic Sasquatch. They will eat humans. They will hunt humans. All they do is prey on humans for food. They don't eat no other food source besides humans. And when they pound on your cabin, they want you to. They're trying to get you to come out so they can get a free meal, basically. Because first thing someone pounds on your cabin or your wall, you're going to go check what it is. The minute you come out, you're done. If you're by yourself. Usually, normally, there's two in a group. They really will. They'll be standoffish then. Very rare if one person comes out, will he come back inside the cabin or the house by himself, or at all. So um, how do they interfere with electronics? That's a good question. We're still trying to figure that out. Lamone, we're still trying to figure that out. Like we said, no one really knows what these creatures are or how they even give off certain interference. We don't know. Most we can do is research them, document them, where they're at, their activity, their behavior, and as far as anything like that, some people say they give off some kind of infrasound that interferes with a person feels nauseated or get a headache or something, or they interfere with electronic equipment. We have no idea. We're just beginning to get to know what these creatures are and how they behave. But as far as no one really knows, all anybody can do with that question there, Lamone, is give you an answer that they think, because there's been no real proof that uh, of anything else, as far as them giving off an electromagnetic field to confuse electronic equipment. There's no, I mean, when people say that, it's like they are basically guessing, and I wouldn't take anybody's word for it, why they give off that or the infrasound they use to confuse their prey. We don't know how that works, or we're just beginning to know these creatures. These creatures have been around for hundreds of years, but man, it's finally getting out to the woods, and there's a lot more Bigfoot videos out there because there's a lot more people studying these creatures once they find out they're real. Now, a majority of the population still thinks they're a myth, a pretend creature that people chase for no reason. Have too many personal encounters with these creatures to know they're real. Hey, Purgatory Paul, how you doing? Welcome to my live stream. My friend Jerry Williams, a Bigfoot expert, he is very adverse in Sasquatch, and uh, he is right now researching a cabin that's being attacked right now, and that's why I use the example of them hitting the wall. When they hit the wall, mostly they attack houses and cabins out in the woods. Very rarely do they come in town. Although I got a few short videos where I have got proof they were in town. I've seen where they bedded down. I mean, when the matted grass in between bushes is about 8 feet long, there ain't no wild dog that could pack that grass down like that, mat that grass down like that. So I'm doing good, Paul. I'm doing good. Um, just kind of checking in with everybody, I kind of last video I made was 13 days ago, and that was on a legal matter that I'm still trying to get that DA to admit to. So my channel is Life's Adventures because I deal with everything in life. Bigfoot, ghost hunting, legal, motorized bicycling, anything I can get. I can get out there. Uh, I'm interested in. I know other people are interested in. Bigfoot is my number one interest I have because this is a creature that's out there and people know it's out there. A lot of people don't want to admit to it and they want to know more about them. So they ask researchers like myself or Jerry Williams, a Bigfoot expert, or in fact, he has a channel on YouTube. If you want to, check him out, he's really good. He's really knowledgeable of these creatures. Any questions that I can't answer, because I can't answer them all. I mean, I can answer quite a few questions, but I can't answer them all. Jerry could probably answer, and you know, if you hear birds at 4 a.m., you have nothing to worry about. It's when you don't hear the birds at 4 a.m., you might have something to worry about. It's either winter time or if it's a dead summer and you don't hear no birds, yeah, I'd worry about that. About 4 a.m. is when birds start moving around and start chirping. Uh, if you live out of town and you live in kind of a secluded area where Bigfoot has been known to been sighted at, and you for some reason get up in the morning, country morning, and you don't hear the birds, stay leery. If nothing's attacked your cabin or house, if nothing's um been moving around, moved in your yard, or nothing's you don't see no prints, but the birds aren't chirping, that means there's probably a scout out there in the woods watching you, trying to figure out your behavior pattern. So that I would be very leery of. Just go on about your day, and eventually, if there is something out there, it will make itself known in some way. It won't just outright attack you. It actually thinks about and it coordinates its attacks. So it's like it will let you know it's out there. It'll try to scare you by maybe shaking a bush first, or shaking a tree, or doing a whoop or a howl or something. And if any of those things happen, then and you know something's out there, try to call someone, get them out there. There are ways to get rid of them, but it takes a professional like myself, Jerry Williams, the Bigfoot expert, or someone from the BFRO. We know how to get rid of them, chase them away, basically, and not too easy to chase away because even right on the edge, it's possible to have an encounter, and that's what people think if they're on the edge of a town where their house is like the last one, and then it's the woods and trees. That's on the edges they come in. They have been known to come this close. They have been known to come into towns. There is one town in North Carolina right now that's going through hell because it's a North Carolina town that is basically it's secluded. There's one road going in and one road going out. That's it. You drive down this road, it's a dirt road, and you see nothing for miles. All of a sudden, you come across this town, and the whole town is surrounded by trees. So it's like, and three sides of the town is the three sides. What's the east, west, and north side is surrounded by national forest, and what's on the south side is all privately owned, and that's where the roads come in. It's the only road in or out. And they had a problem. They had the Marines went in there, and when the Marines were debriefed on what they're going after, they thought they were being sent out on a joke. And when they came across a whole two platoons of 15-foot to 19-foot Sasquatch. They attacked the town. They were after the people. They wanted, a meal. People are the easiest prey because we're the easiest to manipulate. If you're out in the woods, and all of a sudden and there's no one around for miles, and all of a sudden you hear kids playing, or you hear a dog barking, and you're nowhere near anything, you're probably gonna be in trouble pretty soon. I turn around and walk right back the way you came, even if it's out of your way. You keep going back the way you came because more than likely they're mimicking human behavior to lure you in. So like on some of my Sasquatch videos, you can hear birds chirping all the time. That's how I know the woods is pretty much safe where I go. They're out there, but like on my one my picture I put up for my live stream, I have two little creatures circled. Now those ain't Sasquatch. I have no idea what those are. Those are some kind of cryptid I'm trying to get answers for. On my picture I put up for the live stream. No one knows whether I can't get no answer. They're not dogs. They're not dogmen. They're like little, and they've been seen before by other people. They've been seeing people refer to them as the Ewok of the Sasquatch world. They're like miniature Sasquatch or Bigfoot, but I've never seen them. So this and no one really knows what they are. No one's put a name to them yet. So people just call them the miniature Ewok type. Some people call them trolls. We don't even know. We don't know what Sasquatch is, much less what these creatures are. And it was crazy because when I took that picture, there was nothing standing there. But obviously there was something standing there, and the camera pulled out any camouflage but you see how they try to camouflage themselves into the background. Now with human eyes you won't pick it up, the camera picked it up. And so on my intro, that's if you look at it, I got the creature circle. Just I don't know where they came from or even what they are. They nothing I've ever seen before. So but are they dangerous? I don't know. I wasn't gonna, test that out whether they're dangerous or they're friendly. So, any more questions? I love to answer questions. We call them little people. I grew up with Jerry, and I'm Choctaw too. They are harmless, but they will take kids and teach them things. So you have seen them then, them small creatures like that. I have no idea what they are. This is the first time I've actually got a picture of one. And one, I mean, I've seen them in person, but I just thought maybe they were a juvenile Sasquatch. But then I found out later they weren't. And when I started talking to people into the field, and I have no idea what they are. Some people say that, some people say they will take kids. You said they would take kids and teach them things. I was told that they take kids for food, but I don't know. I just different stories, And I went down. Sasquatches have been known to rip people apart, so, eat them and hunt them, and they're always in a Sasquatch area. So that's probably why whoever seen them before said, yeah, they'll trick little kids into coming and doing stuff. So, but yeah, being on the edge of town, you always have to worry. Wherever there's woods, wherever there's good camouflage. I've been told that. I've been told they use. I've never had that used on me, but I wish I did. I would like to experience some of these things that that people experience. I've experienced straight out encounters where I would actually have to fight these creatures with 50 calibers and special weapons just to bring them down. I mean, when I go in the woods, I go in the woods ready to combat these creatures because that's where my mind is set. That's all I've seen with you guys ripping people apart, ripping their own kind apart. I mean, it's just so that's what my memory of a Sasquatch is. And when I go into the woods, the ones I'm going around now, they seem compared to the ones I was the ones I encountered, I had to fight. The ones I'm encountering now seem docile compared to the ones that I did up in Alaska. I mean, but they're not. They're still wild creatures. I still respect them. You know, give them the respect and stuff, and try not to chase them down too much. um, but one thing I tell people: if you see these creatures, do not turn around and run. That you become the prey. They will then chase you. Some of them are. Some groups are very docile and find out in the lower 48 here. But there are some that will hunt human. Okay, I'm not saying they all do it, but there are groups of them that just humans are easy prey, so they go after humans. You know, I mean, they can sound like a sick dog or a dog in distress or a cat or something, and they'll lure them right into the woods. How you doing, Tracker A? I just figured I'd stop in and shoot the shit for a while, you know. I figured out how to live stream on my phone, so I'll be able to do a live stream this weekend. I know it's Easter weekend, but I'm gonna be live streaming hopefully sometime. And I got a new spotlight for my phone, so if I have to do a night hunt, I can do a night hunt, which is very dangerous going by yourself at night. Because at night you're in their world all the way, and if you go by yourself, you're really putting your life in God's hands. Because a lot of times at night is when most of the attacks happen. Because they know that we can't see at night, just like we know they can barely see during the day. They can smell us and hear us during the day, and they can see us a little bit, but they can't see us full on like they can at night. Um, Walk by faith, I do that every time I go in the woods, even if it's midday. I do that because it's like, you know, even though they can't see us that good during the day, they will attack during the day. And I'm not saying they only attack at night. I'm saying yes, they will attack during the day, but 9 times out of 10, if they're going to attack you, it's going to be at night or right when the sun is going down when they can start seeing better, you know. But most of the time, they don't come out till after the sun's already down. The ones that you see that are out walking around, they are the scouts. They are the ones that are taking guard and keeping guard over the ones that are sleeping. Um, uh, and then when one's sleeping to get up, he goes takes uh his sleep or whatever, and they will bring him food. You know, when they hunt for food, they hunt for, you know, for the whole entire, I guess, tribe you want to call it, or group or whatever. You know, some people call them a tribe, some people call them a platoon. You know, I call them a platoon because that's what we call them in the military. But you know, uh, yeah, every time you go in the woods, it's when you go in an area with Sasquatch, you're definitely putting your life in God's hands. You know. Um, but yes, I found out I can live stream on my phone. I was testing that a little earlier. I deleted that video out as a test, and so I can live stream from my phone. So, and I do got a big old spotlight. Um, I don't know if I want to go in the woods at night or not. I mean, uh, by myself. I've done that a few times, and I've also regretted it a few times. So it's like uh, by myself during the day is I feel a little comfortable, but not too much. I'm still scared as hell. I mean, anyone that goes searching for Sasquatch who says they're not scared, they're full of shit. You know, they're mentally ill or something. Because Sasquatch no joke. So you know, um, but oh well. Yes. So, any questions? Any questions anybody has? I mean, mm, I love talking about the life of Sasquatch. You know, the hunting and stuff. That's my biggest thing. I can talk for hours about it, but you know, I mean, like I said, not all these creatures are docile. There's a lot of groups that will turn you into a human steak as fast as anything. So, you know, I mean, and then there are groups that just look at you and not say nothing, but look at you like, "Huh, what are you doing here?" You know, that type of look, you know. So, I've been a Packer fan since uh, Bart Starr days too. There, Jr. I remember Bart Starr. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I haven't been really paying attention to football much lately. I've been more or less trying to work on my research and more in my personal life, getting work and stuff done. You know, it's the spring is coming on, so landscaping is going to start back up here pretty soon. Well, you got to educate your son, and when if he goes into the woods, if he goes into the woods, that he goes in with a group of kids. Never go by himself, especially in your area, Lamone. If you're in the same area with Jerry, that area is very dangerous, Sasquatch, especially for a young kid. Uh, Tell him to take a group with him if he wants to go walking through the woods, because 9 times out of 10, um, a Sasquatch usually don't. Oh, at night? No, no, no. Never tell your kid never to go at night. Uh, Not even with a group of people, because then all the Sasquatch are out. Then no, he's probably way too young to figure out, you know, what to do in that situation. That's a very dangerous situation, even for me or Jerry Williams. It's very going in that night, even with a group of people. You gotta be prepared and know what the hell you're doing. Because if you come across these creatures, you gotta remember nighttime is when they attack. So when they can see is when they hunt. So you know, um, anytime, our baller, anytime. Uh, I'm from Rockford, Illinois. Pecatonica actually is where I go hunting at, which is about 8 miles outside of town. There's Sasquatch all over this area, and people have never reported. They reported it one time a few years ago, but they've never really hunted or had anybody out here tracking them or hunting them. So I figured, what the heck? I'm gonna put out there what's out there, all the evidence I've gathered. I haven't got a picture of one, I haven't got a video of one, but eventually I go out there enough and I'll get it. You know, what I say, Lamone, is if he goes out in the woods at night, take a group of people with him and make sure he is armed. I mean, it's very dangerous to go out at night hunting these creatures, or even in an area uh, in the area where these creatures are. It's very dangerous. I mean, me personally, if I don't have to go in the woods, uh, if I don't have to go in the woods at night, um, I choose not to. If I have a group of people, Bigfoot hunters with me, I will then take a trip into the woods because I got, other people that are armed besides myself. But I am always armed when I go in at night. During the day, I very rarely carry a gun. Very rarely carry any type of weapon during the day. Sometimes I might carry a knife or something, but during the day, I'm not. I mean, I'm still scared shitless, but at least I know I got daylight on my side because their sight isn't very good during the day. So I will be doing my first live this weekend, our baller, while I'm walking in the woods. My first live stream from on location. So, they do know weapons. They can smell gunpowder. They can smell gunpowder. So so they know what gunpowder is. I mean, they ain't stupid. Like I said, they're like apes that think like men, and they're very intelligent. Um, well, things are baller. Go ahead and subscribe to me, man. I won't let you down. At least I'll try not to, man. Mm, mm. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean during the day it's all right to take a walk in the woods, but you still want to take someone, at least one or two people with you. But at night in a Bigfoot area or a hot spot, do not go alone. I mean, I watched this one uh guy who does camping reviews, and he wants to start up a Sasquatch uh video because in the area that he does his camping reviews is a Sasquatch hotspot. I'm not going to disclose where it's at. I know where it's at because I recognized it when he did his video. Um, uh, but I told him if he camps overnight to have someone with him or someone behind the camera or something. Do not go alone. I mean, chances of him being attacked are 50-50. He's either going to hear noises and they're going to probably scare the crap out of him, or they're just going to outright attack him. And he sounded like he I think I hope hopefully he thinks about it and takes uh take takes caution when he does that. Because uh, I don't want to hear another statistic. A YouTuber got ripped apart by well, the police report will always say it was a bear, and in that area there's only black bear, and they really don't attack man. Brown bears do, grizzlies do, Kodiaks do, but black bears very rarely do they attack a man unless they're sick or there's more than one of them. So, um, that's good. That's good. Black bear, yeah. Black bear will attack if they're in a group, but they very rarely will a black bear attack if it's by itself. Unless it thinks it can take you without you outrunning it. Because black bears are probably the only bear that don't move very fast. They move about 35 miles an hour, and they can't run that fast uphill. So they're the only bears that can't. A grizzly can run up a hill with no problem, and people don't understand that only certain bears can't run up a hill that fast. And it's the black bear that can't do it. So. Uh, Now, all the species, the black bear is the dumbest. So it's like, Lamone, you got to talk to your son and let him know that if he's going out there, and you got to be straightforward with him. He's going out there, even with a gun. A gun is not always a safety feature. Sometimes I've known, well, may they rest in peace. I've known groups that go out looking for Sasquatch while they're armed. They have open fire. They they have open fire on these creatures, and they've all had guns. And just because you have a gun doesn't mean you're gonna get out of there safe. Three people out of 15 people survived the attack from Sasquatch at night going into the woods, and they were experienced Bigfoot hunters. They were experienced hunters. And five of them were special forces. The five that were special forces, even though they were special forces, they were killed. These creatures are very dangerous at night. At night is when they thrive. So I mean, like I said, doing a Bigfoot hunt at night or overnight camping in a Sasquatch area, I would always have someone with me. Because if they get me or hurt me in some way, not kill me, but just hurt me, the other person can run for help. But at night, it's just a very, I wouldn't recommend it. During the day, if you want to go into the area during the day, you might see some movement, but most of the time that's just them checking you out, because I mean they can see you, but you're blurry to them. They can smell you and hear you, but they really want to attack you because they can't see what they're doing. So, you know, a gorilla. Imagine that, our baller, a gorilla 9 foot tall. Now imagine a Sasquatch 9 feet tall with all that muscle and that thick a body, knowing it can think like a man in the woods with no glass in front of you. He can straight out grab you. Yeah, he can straight out grab you and rip you apart. I've seen, yeah, there are 25 and 30 feet foot tall out there. They get pretty big. The problem is I don't understand how they hide during the day, being that big. I mean, I've seen them huge. I've seen them to where I look like a just a small guy. I look like a tiny person, and I don't know how those big ones hide, but apparently they do. Where a big one like that sleeps at. I mean, even small stuff like that gets to me because I have no idea. I think the biggest one I've seen in Pecatanga may have been a 12 footer, a good 12 footer, maybe even a little bit taller. But uh, at Tracker A, M 25 footers, they're the ones that people got to watch out for because they're the cannibalistic ones. Them 25 footers, 18 foot on up, I'm gonna say are pretty much cannibalistic. They'll eat anything they can catch, anything they can manipulate, anything they can get their hands on. They will catch. They will try to, use as dinner. Uh, I know, Lamone. That's just it. We know very little about these creatures, how they where they sleep at during the day, especially when they're so damn big. Now there is a proof that that Sasquatch like to stay around caverns that have methane in them, methane deposits, because see they can breathe the methane. We can't, but they can. So they're protected inside there from us. Um, they're protected from us. So they would go. Uh, I've got a theory on that too, Tracker A. Just let me finish this. So when they come out of the methane filled enriched caves that they sleep in, I feel, during the day, or the caverns below the earth. Um, Giant Bigfoot at 25 feet tall, our baller. Um, when they have that methane hits the air, and when that methane hits the air, it hits oxygen and explodes. And a lot of people say there's orbs coming off the Sasquatch. It's the methane that's hitting the oxygen and exploding. And I've seen that, and I have proven that that's what that is. Those are the orbs that people claim they see. So yeah, I have actually witnessed that and studied that, and that's exactly what that is. Um, let's see here. What was the other one? Walk into a tree that was a portal, and I don't believe in portals. I've never seen them disappear. What they do, Tracker A, is their fur is hollow. They have hollow hair on them, and they can uh, camouflage themselves and turn the same color as their surroundings. So it looks like they disappear, but they really don't. They're actually standing right there. And I have made a mistake several times of trying to follow them when I've actually walked right up to them and could have got my head ripped off. And as far as a portal, I don't believe it. I don't believe they're from a different dimension. That stuff still has, and I'm still really on the fence about that. But I have seen them walk into a cluster of trees and totally like disappear, but they don't disappear. What it does is their hair is turning the same color as the foliage around it, and it looks like they just disappear, and they don't. They actually standing right there looking straight at you, and people have to be careful with that. Um, Cloak, yeah, cloak if you want to call it that. Um, that's a good word, I guess. Why people use it, they cloak themselves. I've actually witnessed that several times, and it's like, and unless you know what you're looking for, you won't even see that they're standing right there. They're basically waiting for you to catch up to them, or run up there and see what's going on. See where they disappear, and that's when they got you. And when they do that, they're luring you in. That's another lure where they will lure you in because they want a free meal. Because we're gullible. We want to know what happened, and they know this, and I mean, like I said, they think just like we do. They know how to coordinate their attacks, how to lure people in. Remember, they are in the woods, and when they're around, they are the apex predator. We are no longer the apex predator. Um, just okay, our baller. There are Bigfoot that are 25 feet to 30 feet even taller that I've seen personally when I was in Alaska. Lately, uh, people have told me they've been seeing them down here south of the Canadian border, and that's very amazing because other than the Canadian weather and the stuff, some taller ones, really anything above, I've noticed anything above maybe 10 degrees, they really, they seem to migrate more north than, but to see them down here, I've seen tall ones down here, probably 12 to 18 footers, maybe. The one where I'm at now, 12 foot, maybe 14. But to see him when that tall down here, I haven't seen it. Yeah, you very rarely see the big ones like that, Tracker A. Very rarely see the big ones like that. And when you do, they are obviously are the king of their squad, the king of their platoon or whatever, their tribe. So, uh, that's why I go out to the woods, our baller. I try to get videos of this. That's why people go out and research Sasquatch so we can get videos of these type of creatures. Like I said, these creatures are very, very smart. They know how to avoid us. Okay, you know, but hopefully this weekend when I live stream, hopefully I can get something. Lamone, how long do they live? I've well, from the reports I have read, people said they live as long as human beings do, like 75, 80 years, and other people say they only live 30, 40 years. Like I said, we don't really know much about these creatures. We don't know how long they live. We don't know. That's just one of those questions that is subjective to who you're talking to. So it's like, uh, I don't know. I've never really lived with one or lived around them long enough to know that, how long they live. And even when they do die, where the hell do they bury their bones? I mean, we know that they dig holes and graves for their own kind. And that was very interesting because that was recorded by a Canadian guy who actually followed a pod around. And why he didn't get eaten, I have no idea. But he followed a pod around. He kept a safe distance, and he witnessed them bury their own kind, like we bury ours. I mean, they don't throw them in a casket; they just dig a hole and throw the body in there. However, um, he's got no recordings because this was back before video cameras and stuff, so it was an older book. Damn, yeah, yeah. Jr. I want to be. I want to do that. I want to be able to hold that. That was the one that started it all. Actually, the Boggy Creek Monster came out before the Bob Gimlin film. Actually, the Bob Gimlin was actually came out in the late '60s. The Boggy Creek Monster was originally reported and cited in the early or late '50s, early '60s, but back then no one really had any way to get it out there. And so when the Bob Gimlin film came out in the late '60s, I believe, or mid '60s, late '60s, everybody took notice because they heard about the Boggy Creek Monster, the one in Arkansas. Um, so yeah, the Boggy Creek Monster. It's been around. They've been around for a while. Um, so they've been around for a while. So it's like, uh, but just back then, no one had any way except in a newspaper and maybe by a storybook to tell people about it. I mean, if they even had a newscast back then about a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot back then, it'd only be like a 5-second clip, and you know, no one back then really believed in that sort of thing, even though they've been around as long as we have. You know, like no one knows where they came from. Did they evolve like we did? Are they the missing link? A lot of people have passed that off as no, they're not the missing link. They're just another creature, another humanoid type creature living on this earth. I mean, we really don't know what they are, where they come from, or are they of this earth? I was told in the military by certain beings that we were supposed to be protecting that we're the intruders of the earth, and the Sasquatch are the original inhabitants. But I never really got into much detail with that when I was told that, because so that creeped me out a little bit. So I mean, there's more to it than that, but then where are we from? Makes me question. Well, where is my kind originally from? Where are we originally from? No one, Uh, yes, yes. You can videotape them from afar, our baller. You can from afar, and they're just huge. And that YouTuber, that TikToker, disappeared when he videotaped that giant. I seen that video, but he disappeared. Don't confuse. I have in the back of my mind it might be, but you know, Um, I mean, you're talking about the video on DVD, Tracker A? I've got that one. I was one of the first ones to get that video. I've got it sitting here somewhere. It's around here somewhere. Yeah, it's sitting over here. Yeah, I've got that one. I've watched that. But the thing is that, like I said, when it comes to study and research, even my research is subjective because the fact that it's my opinion about what I'm seeing. So, um, uh, everybody's research is subjective until we get actual positive proof of these creatures existing. That's what everyone wants, is to prove to people that these creatures exist. And not then once we get the government and everybody admitting that these creatures exist and that they are real, then we can learn on how to teach people, to watch out for them and how to we can learn more about them then, because there would then be $1 million researchers going into the field looking for these people or looking for these beings or people or whatever you want to call them. Tracker A, they have been working with them. There are scientists out there that have talked to Sasquatch in their own language. There's videos on YouTube of it, old videos from the 1970s. Um, I knew back when I was in the military that they had some kind of open line of communication with a certain tribe around the Mount St. Helens area. Uh, in Pikes Peak in Colorado, they had a couple of tribes they were working with. Oh yes, they can. They speak a we call it gibberish. Uh, do we all know each other? Mostly just from YouTube, our baller, but we're one big family because we're Sasquatch researchers and we all research the Sasquatch. And it basically brings us together as more or less a family. So, and I consider Tracker A, Tracker E, and C, and everyone else in the Bigfoot community, my family. So yeah, we basically know each other through our research, and you know, because we all have different opinions about different things. And but yeah, um, as far as actually, I've never met these people. I really want to meet these people someday, Arbol. I really want to meet Tracker A and Jerry and, and compare notes because, like I said, everyone's research is subjective to that person. So to agree or disagree with a researcher, I know, researchers disagree and that won't happen because everything is subjective. And the fact that you can learn more from other researchers than you can just going out by yourself. Um, so to put another researcher down, that's unethical. That you don't do that. You find out what the guy has and say, hey, well, this is what I have, and then you compare notes and you talk about it, and sometimes we're both wrong, and it takes a third person to come to a final conclusion on a certain situation. But our researchers wrong? Uh, Researchers get it wrong a lot. Okay, until we get into a group and we figure it out. And that's why we only put out there what a group of people have decided a certain situation is. Who won't just say, "Yeah, we seen Sasquatch doing this. This is because," and I will always leave it up to the person to decide why the Sasquatch does that, because unless I get into a group that have experienced that, and we come to the conclusion this is what it is, that's the only time I repeat myself. Like the thing with the methane gas. When the methane comes off, the Sasquatch hits the oxygen and it explodes. It looks like orbs. I've talked to 10 other researchers and we sat around and this is what we figured out what it is, because methane, when it hits oxygen, it does kind of give off green and blue and stuff. It looks like orbs, but they're just gas bubbles hitting the atmosphere. Um, so alone. Um, Sasquatch Chronicles are good. I mean, I do listen to them. I listen to almost all the Bigfoot channels. All the Bigfoot channels. I listen to them all, man. Uh, um, because there's a lot, even on the ones that the Bigfoot channels, so where they have people call in or they have people uh tell their story of Sasquatch. Because a lot of times, even from those stories, you can learn a lot of stuff that you never knew. Because, like I said, Sasquatch are like humans. They're always changing their behavior. I mean, so they have behavior that's some is normal behavior, but sometimes they change their behavior in different areas depending on the situation they're in, just like humans do. And that's what makes them intriguing, I guess. Is are they human? Are they a form of human? I mean, who knows? You know, I mean, uh, we don't know. Uh, Tracker A, where are you from again? Hey, Tracker C, how you doing? Huckleberry. Thanks, Arballer. I mean, when it comes to Sasquatch, everyone has their own opinions and everyone has their own research. And what it is you want to really, when you really get into studying and hunting Sasquatch, you really want to get a bunch of experienced researchers together and you want to converse with them because you can learn a lot. And I mean, just to say you know everything about Sasquatch, I mean, Jerry's pretty much the closest thing to an expert that you'll find. But you know, like even with him, he gets surprised at some stuff, you know, and not too much, but some stuff. You know, I mean, and he's the first one to admit he's always, you know, he always learns something new about these creatures. He'll admit that. You know, he goes say, "Oh, I know it all." He, you know, no one knows it all. I don't even know it all, and you know, I've been in situations that blow my mind. You know, that didn't know these creatures were like that. But when you get and compare notes, and through two or three people sitting down comparing notes, you can actually figure out what is going on with a certain Sasquatch tribe or family or whatever. You know, you can. But when I come out of the woods after doing a video or something, I usually try to explain what's going on in the video while I'm doing it. You know, but why the creatures are doing what they're doing, I really don't try to explain that because I'm not sure because I have no one to really converse with, you know, to give an actual statement of why they are doing this, you know. I mean, well, when they're hunting for food, you know, it's standard. They're looking for grubs. Like in my one video, they were looking for grubs. I put my hand down and and move some of the rotten tree away to show you how they look for grubs. But that's just standard, you know, hunting, you know, feeding and stuff. But like in my one video where the whole entire tree was twisted, I don't know why they do it. I don't know how they do it. It's like all the bark is twisted, and it's just that one tree, and it's right in the center of a bunch of trees. And someone said, "Well, that's the wind. Why would the wind do it to that one tree? that's blocked by all these other trees, not have some kind of damage to the other trees. We don't know. Is it a marker? We don't know. Is it a good hunting spot? We don't know. A lot of the stuff that we say are mostly opinionated. It's mostly our opinions because we're, like I said, we're just on the tip of the iceberg to try to study these creatures. They can to a point. Not as far as beam me up, Scotty Lamone. Lamone, not as far as like beam me up, not manipulate matter like that. No, but yeah, in a sense they can. I suppose in a physical sense they can. If I put behind you, I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it because when you're not facing them, they think you can't see them or hear them when you're not facing them. And I'm thinking about putting that to a test. Get to a heavy area. The area I'm in is that I research in. They're there, but they're not really heavily there. There's like I guess just a small family, a small pod. But I'm gonna try to put that to the test when I'm not looking at them. Are they actually walking up behind me? I mean, other people have put cameras on their backs to try to see, uh, if they are following you. They've got some good footage, but as soon as you turn around, but see, for some reason, they know where the camera is. They try to avoid cameras, or they try to manipulate the tech through electromagnetic fields or something. No one really knows how they do this, but you'll see an image come up on the camera on the screen, and you say it's a Bigfoot, but you can't tell because the image is blurry. We don't know how they manipulate the electromagnetic field like that. If they give off some kind of infrasound, or we know they do it to confuse their prey, um, but yeah, hunting, researching, studying, studying Sasquatch is a very dangerous profession. If you want to go out to the woods, you go out. You want to go out to the woods hunting. Take someone who knows what they're doing, or take someone who take a group of people with you. 9 times out of the 10, during the day, I ain't gonna say you ain't got nothing to worry about, but you got less to worry about than ever at night. Um, because even during the day they do attack. The guard who stands guard while the tribe sleeps is sometimes he'll attack you thinking you're trying to mess with the tribe. So I suggest even during the day. Now I go in the woods alone. I suggest no one do that. No one do that. I've had my fill of what these creatures can do and how they react, and I have been in a few close calls. Even during the day, I've been in it. I had rocks thrown at me. I walk up on the spot. So I figured I'd turn around and walk the other way, right? That didn't help. They surrounded me, and I didn't know it. And they were closing in on me. And I never put that video up because I dropped the camera and I did the one thing I told people not to. I got the hell out of there. And they did chase me. They did chase me. Yes, it can, Triker. See, very good. I'm glad you agree with me. It makes you sick, nauseated, everything gets disoriented. Uh, yeah, you have a good one, our baller. A lot of times we do. Whenever we mostly we meet on well, this is the first time we met on my channel, but I'm gonna continue to do more of these, and since I can live stream from my phone now, and I know I can, I'm gonna probably do a lot of on location live streams. So, you know, podcast or whatever you want to call them. Uh, yeah, our baller. If you're heading out, you have a good day. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. So Yeah, we all have channels. Tracker C, Jerry Williams, the Bigfoot expert. He's basically the head of the group. So it's like, but we all have our separate channels also. So, um, he's the Bigfoot expert. He's like I said, no one's really an expert, but he's the closest thing to an expert you're going to come across when it comes to the Sasquatch world. So, um, oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Um, yeah, you guys go ahead and post your guys' links up to your channel so our baller can subscribe to you and check your guys' channels out. You know, you guys can go ahead and do that if you want. Tracker A, if you're still on, you can. As I got no way to post Jerry Williams. Uh, write down Jerry Williams and he'll come up right away. He's a Bigfoot expert. Uh, he's very good, very knowledgeable. He's a very good guy, very nice guy. You'll like him. Very friendly person, and he's very knowledgeable. If you ever have any questions, like I said, I can't answer. Tracker C or Tracker A can't answer. Trust me. Jerry Williams will have the answer for you. I mean, he's pretty good at what he knows. He knows quite a lot. Something that I haven't said yet is when a Sasquatch attacks. Where are you from, Marballer? When Sasquatch attacks and he rips his prey apart, northern New York, Whitehall, New York. I know the area. Uh, White Whitehall is a good Sasquatch area. If no one knows where that is, that's in upstate New York. It's actually illegal. Whitehall, New York. Okay. Um. Yeah, Whitehall. Whitehall is a big Sasquatch area. They also got a law there. You cannot harass or shoot at a Sasquatch. They actually put that down there. I actually remember when that came up that you cannot shoot at them. You can research them, but you cannot harass them in any way. They have a whole law against uh, Sasquatch up there. Um, yeah. When you said northern New York, I kind of knew you were from Whitehall or from that area. That's facts. You got to be very careful when you research Sasquatch up there because them laws are very strict on them. And if you shoot one, you get charged with murder, like you would kill a human. Yeah, it's very strict up in there. Uh, yeah. Well, anyway, when Sasquatch attacks, the first thing they go rip out of their prey is the heart and the liver because that's where the protein is, and then the rest of it is kind of like a dessert, more like the rest of your meat or the rest of the meat is like they eat that too, but they eat that second. Yeah, they have Sasquatch contests, sightings and stuff. Yeah, I heard about all that stuff up there, but I heard the laws are real strict. You get caught shooting a Sasquatch in Whitehall, New York, you're looking at jail time. And I'm not just talking county jail; I'm talking prison time. They're very strict up there. I was up there researching, and I had the DNR walk up to me, ask me what I was doing, and when I told him, he gave me a whole list of stuff that I cannot do. You cannot go out at night looking for these creatures there. They do not allow a night hunt. You have to go during the day. And me being by myself, I was there during the day. So it's like you cannot have a gun on you. You cannot walk in the woods with a gun, licensed or not. So they got very strict laws up there when it comes to Sasquatch. Uh, Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wonder. There's a lot of very, very famous researchers that have been in that area and that have done research for that Whitehall. They have done research, and personally, I think they have something to do with the government. But that's just my own personal opinion. I have no proof of that. So but uh, yeah, that's a very restrictive area when you look for Sasquatches during the day. No, no guns. They never said nothing about a knife or a sword. So it's like, I mean, that's not going to protect you from these creatures, but still, give you some kind of security. Well, allegedly doing something with the government. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's a big hotspot up there, and just down south there in Ohio, there's a what they call a grass man down there in just can't remember the area, but they have strict laws down there where you can only hunt them at night, but you can't be armed. And not even I am going to go in the woods hunting these creatures at night without being armed. I'm just not going to do it. Tracker C, that's something you're going to have to take up with them. I told them strictly I was there uh, researching Sasquatch. And when I told them what I was doing, they told me I had to go put my firearm in the car. So, you know, I mean, they knew what I was doing, so that's why they told me that. Of course, after they left, I took it back out of the car, but still, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not one to rattle any cages. I'm not going to sit there and argue with someone. You want me to put my gun in my car? Okay, I'll put my gun in my car. But once you leave, I'm going to take it back out. So it's like, I mean, I didn't want to discuss World War III. The gun laws here, you got to have a Boyd card, which is basically a gun license. It's an open carry policy in Illinois. You gotta have a Boyd. You just go down and you fill out a thing, who you are and stuff, register your gun, and they give you a little card saying is your gun permit to carry a gun. So, you know, yeah, it's kind of some state up in Alaska. They have one area in Alaska. The whole state ain't like that. The whole state of New York isn't like that either. It's just that one Whitehall area, Tracker C, that's like that. It's not the whole state like that. Um, there's a small area in Alaska too where uh, it's basically a reservation. It's half on a reservation, half off. It's a small village type deal that the Sasquatch are protected up there. You can't shoot them, even though they're the big ones up there. I don't know what the yeah. You live in that state where you don't need a gun license, or anyone can own a gun. See, so you're in one of those liberal states where you can basically walk into a gun shop, buy a gun, and not have any questions asked. And you're the only state that I know of is like that. Besides, maybe Oklahoma's like that, but other than those two states, every other state is very have has certain. There are officials that do admit that they exist, but those officials really don't have no pull with the government. They're maybe government employees, but that's all they are is employees. They really have no pull or no reign. They can't. If they wrote a report on something like that, it'd be knocked down by their higher ups. So it's like, but um, yeah, there are certain. Mr. L, how you doing? Uh, well, I'm gonna have to end this live stream. I've been on for an hour and a half. Didn't realize that. Get me talking about Sasquatch and areas and stuff like that. I just keep talking. It's nice to have everyone come in and check my live stream out. Like I said, you go exactly, Mr. L. So am I. Um, um, you guys all have a good day. Thanks for coming in, Tracker C, Tracker A, Mr. L, R Baller, and everyone else who joined the stream. I appreciate it. Uh, you all have a good day, and I will see you this weekend when I do my live stream from on location. Be on location doing a Sasquatch research or hunt or whatever you want to call it. Thanks, Lamone. Parasolo, I'm just ending, so have a good day, JR. Parasolo, I am doing a live stream this weekend, so from location, so it will be this weekend. Y'all have a good one now. Y'all take care. God bless you all. May God keep you safe. I'm out.